All right. Hello and welcome to another edition of Douglasville Impact, our community podcast. And this is our first show of the new year. It is 2021. 2020 is behind us, and we are moving forward into a new year with hope and positivity. So welcome, everybody, to the show. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's go ahead and introduce everybody we got on the screen. Joining us once again, we got Mr. Chris Dixon, somewhere over here.
Hello, Douglasville.
We got Ms. Hayley Chapman.
Hello.
And joining us in our guest spot this week from the Economic Development Authority is Mr. Chris Pumphrey.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Chris. Thanks for joining us today. So
Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the cool things you guys got going on and all the stuff you had happening during 2020 and all the great stuff you got planned for 2021 because it's going to be all good, right?
All good. Indeed. Good stuff.
So let's start off with some news and events. So who wants to go first? You want to start with Hayley? Hayley, would you like to go first and tell us what you got to share with us today?
I would love to go first.
Awesome.
Thank you. Well, up first on my list of events, the Parks and Recreation Department is partnering with the Property Profits Realty Group to bring you a home ownership workshop on January 30th from 11 to 1 at the Alice J. Hawthorne Center. They will discuss the myths and benefits of home ownership. So if you're interested, visit douglasvilleparks.com for more information, or you can join the Parks and Recreation Facebook group under our group section on our Facebook for City of Douglasville.
Excellent. Cool. That'd be
Some
fun one.
timely information, too, because the housing market is hot right now.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good sign. We'd like to see that. So cool. What else we got going on?
Up next is our spring break camp Kids Day Off. It's open registration is going on right now through March 4th. It's a mini camp session for kids ages 5 to 12 from April 5th to the 9th. And this kids can get active and moving while enjoying games and activities. Lunch is not provided, and there is a max of 30 kids to sign up. So make sure to sign up ASAP. Again, at douglasvilleparks.com.
Excellent. And this at this point, it kind of goes without saying that all of these programs and any in-person type meetings like this have COVID measures in place for social distancing, masks and hand sanitizer stations and all that good stuff. So we've got to the point where we're just assuming that's all in place for everything that we're going to host here at the city, right? So
Correct.
yeah, but never hurts to say it again.
No.
All right. What else? Parks doing some more stuff?
Well, this is more so with community development. The City of Douglasville is partnering with the Atlanta Regional Commission to work together to conduct a housing study in Douglasville. They're having a virtual open house on February 2nd from 11:30 to 1 via Zoom, and they're going to discuss housing opportunities and challenges in Douglasville. So some of the questions they might ask are, what do you want to see in your neighborhood? What housing challenges do you foresee facing? There's also a survey associated with this study. So they want to make sure that you fill that out because they need to hear, what you have to say. So you can find the survey and the Zoom link under the What's Happening section of our website, douglasvillega.gov, or on our Facebook page.
Nice. And this is, again, whenever we come with these kind of surveys and stuff like that, these community input surveys, I know the mayor and the council and the city administration are very big on community input. We don't want to go out and do anything, and it's not what the community wants to see within the community. So there's a big effort to make sure we're asking the community what their opinion is. So this is another one of those opportunities for the citizens out there to make their voices heard, to say, hey, here's what we would like to see in our community. Here's what we don't want to see more of in our community. So this is the point where you get that message out before it comes up and you're like, whoa, they're building what right there? So now you can make your opinions known, up front, so that when we're doing all this planning and development, stuff, that we have that information and say, this is really what the community wants to see. How do we balance that with what we want to do and what the city wants to do and the county wants to do and what the area wants to do. So this is another good, anytime you see us, putting a survey like that out, jump on it and share your opinion, because this is when you can, make your voices heard. So Awesome.
Definitely. Well, speaking of great communication, open communication, the Douglasville Police Department is having another virtual town hall. This one is on February 9th from 7 to 8. They're going to be discussing internal affairs, the end of year report, and their use of force policies. So you can find the information, obviously, on our website, but also you can join the Zoom meeting directly by going to douglasvillega.gov/PD Town Hall on the night of the Zoom meeting.
And they've had a good turnout of all of their virtual town halls they've had so far. And, they're there and they've got the Q&A module going. So if you've got questions, you can ask them questions. But this is a particularly good one because this is the one you said they were doing the year-end report, right? So this
Correct.
is the one where the chief will look back and he'll give a lot of the information about stats and crime stats and information about what all they did and what all they saw in 2020 and how that compares to previous years. So that's one that's usually a big interest to people because they talk about crime in the area and they talk about different things that are happening in the area. So you can really look at it on a large picture and see how that compares to other areas, how that compares to other cities, how that compares to other years and stuff. So it's always a real popular one when the chief delivers his kind of year-end report and stuff. So that'd be a good one to check out for sure. Okay. What else?
Last but not least, on February 23rd at 6:30 p.m., we're going to have a special Downtown Love edition of the Douglasville Trivia Live. So questions will focus on our downtown Douglasville restaurants. And you can, it's going to be on Facebook Live, so make sure to like our page. And just so you know, the top 3 winners will have prizes awarded. So got to make sure you join for that. I'm excited.
I love all the trivia nights. Those have been fun. And this one's, a lot of downtown restaurants are the focal point, so I don't have to refrain from talking about food. I usually have to restrain myself. Not this time. Awesome. So there's a lot of stuff coming up, right? That's our activity. So thank you. Chris, what about you? You got news for us? You handling our news portion?
Yes, I do. I have some downtown love as well to spread. Our Douglasville Main Street is having their Downtown Love promotion again this year. And, of course, it spotlights our wonderful restaurants we have here in Douglasville. We are truly blessed. And what you have to do is go into one of the participating restaurants, and those restaurants are The Vine, Hudson's, Blue Rose, Kumba Coffee, Gumbo's, Fabiano's, Gabe's, and Tito's. Go into one of those places and take your photo, a selfie with your group or yourself eating in the restaurant. And then you tag that with Downtown Deville Love. Is that right? Downtown Deville Love, yes. And that automatically enters you into a drawing on our Facebook and Instagram for a $100 gift card. So you can go to our Facebook group on our Facebook page for Main Street Douglasville. They've got all the information about those on that page.
That's cool. So they've made it even easier to get in on that now, right?
Yeah, you just have to take a selfie and post it, basically.
Take a selfie and tag it. Nice. So
Don't have to ask me twice.
Hey, I won one of those one time, so yeah.
I remember that.
Was it a selfie one?
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. Back then you had to, you had to turn in a receipt. You had to fill out a little thing and turn your receipt in whenever you went to one of our downtown restaurants. So this is even easier.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look out for Chris's selfie submission.
No
You have to be
pictures
in
of me,
there.
thank you. Yeah.
It can't be just the picture of the food. It's got to have you in it.
Yeah, just hold it up with the food.
Shrimp in the background.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
Okay. All right, then while we're spreading love, let's give our mayor and council a little bit of that and just let you know that they're having city council meetings on January 28th and February 1st. And you can watch those live at mycititv.com. So please do that. Get involved in your community. All right, then we had our MLK Day of Service that was sponsored by Keep Douglasville Beautiful. And they had a wonderful turnout for that event. They had COVID capacity in force, and so they could only have so many people, but they had plenty of volunteers. They were able to build a fence around the Mill Village Community Gardens, and that is the goal of that is to provide Douglasville residents living in USDA designated food deserts some sustainable access to high quality fresh produce. So that garden is going to be planted. It'll now have a fence around it to serve as a climbing device for certain plants and everything. So you can find out more information about that as well at keepdouglasvillebeautiful.org. And that can get you all that detail.
Yeah, the garden's looking nice over there. I think the fence really helps and stuff. But and then they've got Arbor Days coming up, and they're doing another event over there for Arbor Day coming up, right? So they're going to plant some more trees and different things as well. So, yeah, it's a nice little area over there with the community garden.
Great things happening over there now. All right, and our 2020 Douglasville Annual Report has arrived. And you can see that on our website, douglasvillega.gov. You can go directly to the report if you type in douglasvillega.gov/annual report. That'll take you directly to that. And we, looking back at that report, despite COVID in 2020, Douglasville, the city of Douglasville, had a pretty good year last year. Kept all our major projects on track, and so all that's detailed in that report. And I understand that the Mayor Robinson is going to be releasing a 2020 year in review video very soon as well.
Yeah, those are good because we're going to look back on 2020 for a long time now, I think, with a certain, idea of what it was and how we made it through it. But really, we actually made a lot of progress on some of the major projects throughout 2020 that the city was working on, and a lot of positive things still happened in 2020. So, particularly in the address that the mayor's delivering with her year in review, she focuses on a lot of those progresses and achievements and major milestones that the city was still able to make on some pretty big projects for the community through 2020. Detailing Highway 92 and the Town Green project, and a lot of big major things that are still moving forward and made some major progress last year. So keep an eye out for that video, and check out the annual report. The print version was designed by somebody we all know, and it looks awesome.
Yes, it does.
It's a really cool theme, and it's really creative, and it's really, really well done. So it's available on our website, so you can go check that out and see what all the city did last year as well. So.
All right, and then annual reports. While we're talking about annual reports, the Parks Department, our CAPRA certified Parks Department, has their video annual report available for the public, and you can go to that at douglasvilleparks.com, and that will get you to, if you look under the What's Happening section, click on the link there, and all the information is there about their annual report. And that's it.
That's all you got? Awesome.
That's all I got today.
That's a lot of stuff. This is our first show of the new year, so we had a whole lot of stuff building up. So thank you both. So talking about all the good things that actually did happen in 2020 and some great things to come, let's talk a little bit with Chris about all the things that the Economic Development Authority has continued to be doing and stuff, and it has continued to be planning. And you guys did a lot in 2020, actually, and you've got a lot of more stuff on the horizon as well. So why don't you start off by just introducing us to you and what you guys do as an organization for our community.
Sure. So I'm glad to be here, and thankful to be able to talk to the community about what we do. And just as what was stated earlier, I hope that everyone does take advantage of those opportunities to engage, with the community, with what the city government is doing, as they're trying to be extremely responsive to the needs of the community, needs and desires of the community. I think is so important that is done. And so we in 2020 just it hit us like a ton of bricks, and then we figured out how to remove one brick by brick, throughout the rest of the year. We had a lot of great plans coming into that year, and I wouldn't say that they all got derailed. Some just got postponed, but we still, charted forward on a number of different efforts. And one of the big things that we have been endeavoring upon over the past couple of years is the creation of a public-private partnership to really consolidate economic development efforts and broaden our base for what we do. So, to answer your question about what we do is we focus on business recruitment here in Douglasville and Douglas County, and it's recruiting businesses within our target sectors. And so we've got a whole strategy around the types of companies that we want to recruit here. We focus on the support of existing businesses here in the community as well. We tend to focus more on historically we have focused more on the larger businesses in what we do. It's only I would say last year was a 4-person staff, and now we're a 2-person staff. So there's no way that we can serve all of the 5,000 plus businesses in Douglas County. And so, we tend to focus on the larger ones. But then we focus in on community development. So we support the community development, department within the city. We're looking at future developments, whether that's land use and zoning, going forward in the community. We focus on development. We focus on redevelopment, marketing. There's just a host of things that we all do, but it's all about growing jobs and investment in Douglasville and Douglas County. So, so that's what we do. So I'll pause there, and I'm sure there's plenty of questions going forward.
No, that's great, and I think a lot of people don't realize that there's even an entity focused on that within a community. A lot of people, it's not something you really think about. If I wasn't working here and see you guys working and what you guys are doing, my mind wouldn't even connect that there's an entity going out and actively seeking to bring development in, to bring jobs in. You see announcements that, hey, they're building a new business over here, or they're building a warehouse over there, or a server farm over there, or a new company's coming in here. You just assume that people just find, hey, there's a good spot, let's open it up. So it's good to kind of pinpoint that, there are active efforts going out there to basically promote the Douglas County area and say, hey, we've got these resources, we've got this area, this is what we look like, and you're trying to attract those businesses that will most benefit our community. Because you guys have done all the studies and looked at all the areas and looked at what will best fit. Without that kind of active planning and active attracting the right kind, that's when you get people who just kind of randomly find your area and want to plant something in there that maybe doesn't fit, maybe isn't something that the community wants to come in, maybe isn't something that will complement what we already have. But they're wanting to bring in money and stuff, so they end up getting in there. So it's important to have that active entity going, making sure we find the right businesses that are the right fit. So you guys have done a great job for as long as I've been here and can remember in making sure that we are getting the quality things to come into the areas that we have. So let's talk a little bit about some of the bigger projects that we can kind of, that people can connect to, that you guys have brought in, that we can kind of say, oh yeah, that's why they're here. So what are some of the bigger name projects that you guys have been connected to?
So I'm going to go old first, and then I'll come to more current. So many people don't know that when Arbor Place Mall was built, it had a certain number of anchor stores, but it didn't have all the anchor stores that it has today. And it's, we all know it's lost an anchor store, or it lost a major anchor store, or two. And so the Development Authority actually was very integral in bringing Macy's to the Arbor Place Mall. And so that was a project some years ago that, Macy's was not here in Douglasville. And we worked very diligently to recruit them here. And now we're glad that they are here in the community. So let's go to some of the more recent ones. A lot of the projects and things that we've worked on have been all around the Thornton Road and Riverside Parkway corridor. That's where just been a lot of the larger industrial type companies have come to the community. And so one of our largest employers is a company called Medline. Medline is based out of Chicago, Illinois. Their headquarters is there, and they've been here in the community, I think, since about 2010, and have expanded a number of times since then. Another great win in the city is Gordon Food Service. They're a company out of Michigan. They've got about 400 plus employees here in the community. Medline has, I think, like over 500 now.
Yeah.
And then we've got data centers, Google and Switch and PricewaterhouseCoopers. I could probably go on and on and on, but there's a host of companies that we were really integral in kind of bringing here to the community.
Yeah, and you guys have kind of put Douglasville, Douglas County on the map in that field, right? So that kind of cloud corridor area for those data centers has become, we've kind of become known for that kind of thing, which is an interesting piece to work into a community, because we have some areas where we don't want to put a whole lot of extra traffic and stuff on the road, and these kind of things don't bring that. So that's where you're talking about putting the right businesses in the right place so that it benefits the community and doesn't hurt the community. So there have been a lot of those that have fit in a really good place. So yeah, Google and Switch and stuff, things like that have been a big benefit, and they bring a certain number of jobs, but they also bring a lot of community investment. I know Google is a huge, when they came in, they're a huge community partner, and they've done a whole lot just to help our community. We've got city, Wi-Fi in the downtown and in some of our parks that is through a partnership with Google. They help us. They host the Georgia Gravity Games here in the downtown every year to help promote STEM in our school systems. So they're a great community partner. In addition to the jobs that they have in the area, just partnering with us as a city and with the school system just to help, bring a benefit to our community. They're a huge organization and a huge company that can come and make a positive impact, on our community and stuff. So they're, it's bringing those really good businesses in. It's great.
Yeah, I would say, it really is the definition of community, right? You can't have community without business, and you can't have business without community. Yeah. And the two very much so complement one another. And then the more that they work together and are more closely aligned, the more the culture of the community begins to evolve. To think about what, being able to go and say we have free Wi-Fi in downtown, that's an added advantage for Douglasville, and it becomes an attraction point. People are drawn to those things. To have an event like the Gravity Games in your downtown, it's bringing families together, right? And it's bringing them together around STEM, but it's bringing them together to have fun. It's culture. It's things that we can advertise and say, these are great things that happen in our community, and it's all through partnership, right? And that's really what, when we say we're going after companies to come to the community, we're not just looking for those that say, yeah, we're going to invest a lot of money, create a lot of jobs. We're looking for community partners, and that's very important to us in the types of companies that we recruit.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of ways that they impact us, because some of them come in and they bring 400 or 500 jobs. Some of them come in and bring that community connection. Some of them just come in and they're making a lot of money, so they're bringing some dollars to the tax base. So there's ways that these companies are benefiting in one way or the other, and there's a whole bunch of different ways. So it's all good for the community, and it's all good for everybody, to get the right ones in. So one of the more recent ones that we've, that's made the news is the Bang Energy drink. Do we want to talk a little bit about that deal and what that's bringing to our community?
Yeah. Great story in Bang Energy. So Douglas County historically had been kind of a bedroom community and a warehouse distribution hub. So we had a 500,000 square foot building that was built back in the early 2000s for Han Furniture. And all they did was just hold furniture for office furniture and ship it out. That business shut down some years later. Curate Green Mountain was looking for a facility to do a new product line. And we went through a host of greenfield sites and existing buildings, and they focused on one building and we lost it. And then they said, hey, we really like Douglasville. We really want to give it another opportunity. So they found this building, converted this warehouse distribution building into a multi-million dollar Class A food grade facility here in our community. We were so excited. It won Deal of the Year. They're going to create over 500 jobs in the community. Yeah, they retrofitted the building, invested a lot of money, called me on a Wednesday morning and said, "Hey, I want to let you know we're going to have to shut down the project." And my heart just sunk.
Oh,
The press release came out later that afternoon, and they announced that they weren't, going to proceed with the project. But we had built a great relationship with them. They worked with us. We went through a number of iterations before they ultimately decided that they just couldn't use the building for anything. And we worked with them. At that point, we had completed our strategic plan. We knew the types of companies we were going after. And we knew that warehouse and distribution was a hot market. And we told them, look, this is a perfect opportunity for us to continue to fulfill our strategic goals. We will commit that if you bring in an owner that is aligned with those goals, that we will work very closely with them in helping to recruit the right type of company to our community. And so there was a competitive bid. The lowest bidder actually won on acquiring the building because they were the group who said they will be committed to fulfilling our strategic goals. And so they bought the building as a company out of New Jersey, and we worked with them on putting the marketing packages together. We identified what our target sectors were. Fast forward 2 years later, we have a number of companies looking at the building, and Bang Energy was one of them. And we told them what our strategic goals were. We told them what we could do to help bring them here to the community. And in September, we were able to announce 600 jobs and $250 million of capital investment into our community. And just really excited about having a company like that. They're paying $25 an hour average salary, average hourly wage, which is above what Keurig was going to be paying, plus benefits. A great company. They're doing R&D, manufacturing, marketing, managing their supply chain out of here, and they already started hiring, before the year ends. So we're really excited to have them.
Yeah, that's awesome, and because like you said in the beginning, we've had we've been a long time at a city where people live here and they drive to Atlanta to work, or they drive somewhere else to work, and then they come back here, to sleep. So it's great to have, companies like this come in, and they're not just putting in minimum wage jobs. They're putting in some nice, really well-paying jobs to where people can build careers, at these local companies now, staying in our community. So it helps us, we're building up, the local amenities like the town green and things like that to build up, the local culture in the community and to have events and things like that. So it's great to have companies that give them the opportunity now to actually work within the community. So it's always great when you see something like that and they say we've got 300 jobs or 500 jobs or even like 100 jobs or something. When you say, yeah, these are nice high-paying jobs that you can build a career here and be happy and comfortably. It's not just entry-level type jobs. So that's always exciting to me when we hear the really good news like that. So I love it when we give people reasons to stay here in the community and not have to drive, inside the perimeter.
And once again, they're another one that wants to be involved in the community, and that's like I said, what we look for.
Absolutely. So we love that. Absolutely. So yeah, it sounds like you guys have had a busy past and had a really good year, with that stuff like that. But you also have a lot of, exciting things coming up in the future. And I know you'll come and we'll talk about some of those when we can. But talk to us a little bit about, the Elevate Douglas partnership, that we've kind of finalized and how that works, how we're all working together.
Yeah. So we started to consolidate economic development probably 5-6 years ago. Mayor Robinson and the prior commission chair Worthen agreed that both the city and county development authorities, should only have one point of contact. And so we became the staff to represent both the city and the county in economic development, which, sounds simple, but it makes a world of difference when it relates to telling your story about the community, and to eliminate confusion in the process. And so that was a huge step for us. And so the next huge step for us was to do a community and economic development strategic plan. And so we did that, and we started it in 2016. We concluded it in 2017, and it really laid out, the structural things that we need to have in place to have a well-rounded, sustainable approach to economic development. And so it's how we focus on marketing. It's how we focus on investing in the community. It's how we focus on building in a talent pipeline. And it's how we focus on business success. That's recruitment of large businesses, but then especially growth of entrepreneurs and small businesses in the community. So that was a huge deal for us because we haven't had a strategic plan, for our community and economic development in ages.
Yeah.
And so it was really a big thing for us. And what became very quickly determined was that we needed more infrastructure to help make sure that we're able to do all those things. So, as I mentioned, we were a staff of 4 at the time that we concluded that. We were a staff of 3. And so, we had us, and then, we were doing some things, and then the chamber was doing some things. And so we started this process investigation to look at how can we better leverage both organizations and bring in the private sector as well to have a more well-rounded approach to economic development, from small business all the way up to the largest companies. How do we better do it? So we started that process, and we went to key partners here in the community like Greystone, Wellstar, Georgia Power, Hartley Rowan Fowler, HRC. There's a host of companies that came together to say, hey, we really are passionate about this community growing with a plan, being successful. And so we decided with them, the board of the chamber, the boards of the development authorities, to say we all support creating this public-private partnership, and we call it Elevate Douglas, elevating the profile of Douglasville and Douglas County. And so we are official now. We have our website now. So I am now, when I go out, as you see there, I'm the president of Elevate Douglas Economic Partnership. We have a vice president of economic development. We're hiring for a new position right now, new project manager. And then we work alongside the chamber, who is providing some shared services for us. So they'll be providing marketing support. They'll be providing event support and administrative support, and doing all the things the chamber continues to do. So we'll all be kind of rallying behind this brand of Elevate Douglas. And now we have private sector investors who are now invested in economic development as well. So once again, bringing the public together and the private sector together to really, as one kind of community, help lead our community.
Yeah, that's awesome. So and that's great because, like you said, you need to be able to attract the development of all different sizes and levels. So you're going to have those kind of targeted areas, so you guys can focus on the big, type companies, but you need those small companies as well. You need small businesses, huge in supporting an economy and supporting a community. And especially looking at us for the city, over the next year or two, we've got some major projects that are built around development coming. We've got the town green that's coming in with a lot of area for development of some of these small businesses and stuff. We've got the old mill site, which is going to be an awesome location for something. We don't know what yet, but we want it to be something amazing because it's going to be right there at the corner of Highway 92 and Veterans Memorial Highway. It's going to be a gateway to the city. So, we're looking for some kind of development opportunity to come into that spot, but we want it to be the right kind, something really cool and creative. And so it's great to have all these partnerships working together to cover all the bases, to cover all of the different levels and sizes and stuff. So, kudos to all that you guys have done for as long as I can remember. And I'm glad everyone is now working together. There's been times when, the city and the county and everybody working together like this wasn't really a feasible option. So
I tell you, when I first kind of put my resignation in at my last job, they were like, "Are you sure you want to go out there?" just because everyone knew, it was known how Douglasville and Douglas County did not get along. I mean, it wasn't just an internal thing. It was very much a known commodity about the tension that existed here. And so partnership is key. Collaboration is key. And I tell people all the time, everything is economic development. So, you never know who's looking at you, right? You never know what company is looking at you. I remember as a developer who said that, they were looking to put their business in a particular community, and they started reading the Facebook comments.
Yeah.
And they read the comments and said, "Yeah, we're good.
Maybe not.
We'll find somewhere else." So it's important. It's definitely important. But and with the Elevate Douglas, I think the thing that I am most excited about is the work that we're going to be doing for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Small business is the lifeblood of the economy. I think it's very important that we provide all the resources, that we possibly can. And when we did our strategy, we did an analysis, and it showed small business and entrepreneurial activity in Douglasville and Douglas County versus some of our competitors in Georgia and outside of Georgia, but even counties here in the metro area. And what it showed was that we were going in the wrong direction as it related to small business and entrepreneurs. And so, we couldn't just say, oh, it's because of the economy or it's because of this. No, like if they're going this direction and we're the only one going that direction, and that's not the right direction to go, then we need to change some things. And so that's what we're starting to implement this year is that work for entrepreneurs and small.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. So it promises to be a good year ahead, right? So we're looking forward. Positivity and hope. It's all good. We're going to have a good year.
I don't know when this podcast will come out, but we do have a major announcement coming up. So looking forward to that, and just stay tuned and follow us. We're all on the LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. We're on all of that.
Nice. So he's teasing us with the big news. All right. Yeah. Well, this one comes out pretty quickly after recording, so we'll get it out there. But yeah, definitely follow all the Facebook pages. I'm sure whenever he tells us what it is, we'll put it on our Facebook stuff as well. So yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a good, exciting year, and it's nice that the Elevate Douglas partnership is all kind of solid and official. So we're moving all ahead as one voice to bring good things to the community. So we've said it for a couple of years now. It's an exciting time to be in Douglasville and Douglas County. We've been doing plans and studies for 10 years now, and things are actually starting to be implemented. So there's a lot of our projects are actually going to be breaking dirt and going vertical this year. And a lot of the development, is right there with it. So it's an exciting time for the community, I think. And a lot of that has to do with Chris and his team and all that you guys are doing. So.
Hey, they do a great job. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.
And there are Chris Pumpphreys all over the state that are trying to win that business from us. So thank you, Chris.
Indeed. And really excited about the town green. So watch us closely. It's exciting.
Yeah, we were all excited about that one. So awesome. Well, is there anything you want to leave us with before we wrap up? No, just stay tuned for the big news.
I just say, overall, despite COVID and everything, 2020 was a good year for us. We closed out on $663 million of capital investment, 880 new jobs, and in 2021 is lining up to be a really good year. So.
That's awesome.
So thank you for having us on here, and glad to engage. And I'll be making sure I take my selfie at one of the restaurants. And looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Chris, today. And if anybody has any questions for Chris, you can find them on their new Elevate Douglas website now. Find out how to get a hold of them and ask them any questions. You can find their Facebook pages and all their social media accounts as well. If you have any questions for us, you can find everything about the city at douglasvillega.gov, and you can find all of our contact information if you want to reach us. So thank you guys for tuning in and for watching and listening, and thank you guys for all joining us on the screen here this week, and we will see you next time on Douglasville Impact. Bye. Bye, everybody.